Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Irma and I'm a huge fan of everything writing, reading and book related, and today I want to talk to you about my experience for Camp NaNoWriMo 2021, the April version. In my Let's Talk About Camp NaNoWriMo video almost 2 months ago, I said that I really wanted to finish a story this camp. And while writing I would write around 25k to finish something. So I searched for a story that was around the middle and that I had some information of, that I knew how it would end, and I decided to continue this story, finish it and reach my goal. I chose the story that I wrote for Camp NaNoWriMo last year in April, and it had already 50k in it, but while I was reading it I realized there was a lot of filler scenes in there and that I would edit them out at the moment that I would start editing. So I decided with 25k on it I have around 75k to edit, and that will be a right amount of words to get some stuff out, put some new stuff in and make a good story. On the first day of April I started to write and I noticed something right away on the first day. My head was making up subplots again, and I realized that that was a problem to finish my story, because even though I had some great ideas like introducing a new character that my main character could date, it would just distract me from my main goal, which was finishing a story. And if I think while editing that this still was a good idea, I can always put it in afterwards, but I really wanted to finish my story and reach my goal. So my question is, did I make it? The other new thing I did this camp was live streaming. I normally watch a lot of other people doing their live sprints, and I really enjoy how they talk about their story procrastination, about their characters, and seeing how they're doing in their story, if they feel happy about what they're writing and if they're procrastinating or not. So I really wanted to try that for myself, but because I didn't know if I liked it, I said to myself, you will do 2 live streams, and if you don't like it you can stop. You can stop right away, it's okay. So I tried it. On the first day of April I had my first live stream. I was so freaking nervous, and I asked my sister Mieke to be in my chat so that I wasn't alone, because then I would possibly hate doing these live sprints. But I met some cool people in chat like Tuut and Bucky, and we really had a blast, and it was very nice to do this, and I realized I liked it and I would try it again. So for the entire month I live streamed every Tuesday and almost every Thursday, and it was an amazing experience. I met some amazing people who were all working on all different kinds of stories, whether they're doing NaNoWriMo or not, but it was just very fun chatting with them, getting to know them. And the one person that I would want to give a shout out, because she also has some great videos about Camp NaNoWriMo. Her name is Sam, and I will put her information in the cards and down below, and you should check her out. She's amazing. I really love to watch her content, so my great tip for you, go check her out. I also watched a lot of other YouTubers do their live writing sprints. I of course watched how Kate was doing her 24-hour write-a-thon, and it seems amazing and also very heavy to do this, but I really want to try this in the future someday. But the writing sprints I enjoyed the most were the writing sprints from James Whitman. He's a small YouTuber from the United Kingdom, and the difference between his writing sprints and the writing sprints from every other person I know was that he had a task, an exercise on the top of his screen. You could try the exercise or you could just ride along with the timer, but there were some great exercises in there, and also he had an amazing, very active and very nice chat, and that was something that really inspired me, even though I really hate writing on my Saturday afternoon and my Saturday morning. But I wanted to make an exception because these sprints were amazing. I found James in the second week of NaNoWriMo, somewhere in his writing sprint, and I was sitting ready for the next week to join his writing sprint again, because it was a very fun and it was a lovely time. The fourth week I didn't have time because I really needed to work in my garden, but I decided to put on some headphones and just listen to him explaining the exercises and think about what I would write. So not writing it, but just thinking about the exercises and how I would use them in my current story. And at some point, while listening to him, I found the perfect ending for my story. Seriously, I was so happy. I was literally dancing in my garden because I had my final scene. I had the idea that I had in my head for so long on a silver plate. It was perfect. I always knew that my main character would look back on her life at some point after the story finished. But I needed a good reason why she would do that, and I didn't find a good enough reason to write that scene, write that chapter, until James had 2 exercises in a row that made up my complete ending. So one of the exercises was to write a letter to someone. Your main character writes a letter. And the other exercise was to look back 10 years from where your story ends. Or look forward. He said you have to look forward 10 years from now. Where is your character and what happened in their life? I decided to pick both of them. My main character has a very bad relationship with her father. So at the end of the story, that was my only loose string of information that never got a real proper ending. And I decided to use these exercises, use this idea to finish and completely wrap up my story. In this last scene, my main character writes to her father telling him that she forgave him for not being around when she was younger, and I only needed to write 2 sentences in the beginning of the story to make everything add up. I was so happy. I found out how my story would end with everything complete. I just needed to write it. With just 6 more days to get to my perfect ending, I needed to write a lot more, including a chapter where my main character was almost dying. So I realized I didn't have time to do this. On the first day of May we had guests and they would stay for dinner. So I had to prep everything for that. I had a lot of appointments in the last week of April and I realized I'm not going to make it. So on Tuesday I did my live writing sprints and realized this will probably be the last day that I had a lot of time to write. And I gave up. I decided whatever, I'm not going to write till the end. I just accept that I'm finishing on May 1st or May 2nd, just as time comes. On Friday night my preps for the dinner were all done and I decided to start writing a bit. I stayed down in the living room to chat a bit with my boyfriend because I decided, well, I'm not going to finish this story anytime soon. So I was writing and I was writing on a very fast pace. I had creativity and inspiration and I was working pretty hard on it, and 10 minutes before midnight I texted my boyfriend and my sister. It took me over 38k to finish it, but I finished my story for Camp NaNoWriMo. To be honest, normally when I hit my word count goal for NaNoWriMo, I'm so happy. I feel a glow for more than a week. But this time was different. Just minutes after finishing it, I felt empty inside. I liked that I was done with the writing phase and I could start editing, but I also realized that I closed the book and that there was no going back in this story. And it made me sad. But a few days later, I noticed something really different about my life. Normally when I'm writing, I always have a story in the back of my mind consuming my thoughts and my energy. And for the first time there wasn't something in my head that was like, maybe you can do this or that, or there was nothing distracting me. So for the last week I relaxed, I had some fun with other people, I read books, I played games, I did all those fun things, and it was just way more relaxing because there wasn't some story nagging in the back of my head for attention. So even though I'm a bit sad that my story is over, I'm really happy that I finished it. So what are my plans for May? Writing wise, I really want to continue writing. I just gave myself a week off, I really needed it, and now I will start on something else. Maybe I will finish another story, but if I don't feel like finishing something else, I will work on my never-ending story, which literally is a story that I will never finish, because I will pick it up from time to time, try different writing styles or ideas, and just experiment a bit with everything to see if I can incorporate this in my story that I'm going to write or going to finish. For reading, I really want to read at least 2 of the Elizabeth George books. I always read them 2 times in a row. First time to read the story for myself and the second time to get my opinion straight and see what I thought about the story. So that's my goal on reading. And for my YouTube channel, I really want to continue with my writing sprints, not twice a week, but maybe once a week or once every other week, to keep myself motivated to write and to interact with people. So if you're interested in that, please follow my channel and you will find out when I am doing writing sprints and you can join me. So my question for you is, did you participate in Camp NaNoWriMo this April? Have you finished your goals, or what are the reasons that you couldn't finish it? And what are your goals for May? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to chat with you a bit more. And with that said, I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!